Oxford, Massachusetts, and 3 neighboring towns have a reason for concern as mosquitoes carrying a potentially deadly virus called Eastern Equine Encephalitis, or Triple E, infected a resident who is now fighting for his life. The rare but dangerous disease can cause swelling in the brain. There's no treatment, and anyone can get infected. The death rate is as high as 30%.
I know they're releasing genetically modified mosquitoes, but airdropping it from a black helicopter?
The GMO mosquitoes are not dying, they are thriving. Bill Gates is up to his demonic eugenicist tricks again, bankrolling genocide in Brazil on both sides of the coin.
Further out in the future, we'll actually have gene drive, which changes the genetics of the mosquitoes and either reduces their population or reduces how long they live. That could have dramatic benefits. We have great tools today that we need to keep evolving, and some very exciting ones in the pipeline, because those will be key to achieve our ultimate goal of eradication. Today that we need to keep evolving, and some very exciting ones in the pipeline, because those will be key to achieve our ultimate goal of eradication.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats, the one and only James Williams is back. This video may be a little bit shorter than I intend for it to be, unless I spaz out on that methylene. Really not on it right now, even though it's sitting right there. But as you know, there's something going on in China that has to do with mosquitoes. And if you just go back in the history of the Dark Waters channel, last year I was talking about what was coming with the mosquitoes and the guy that was doing. And I come to tell you, I'm extremely encouraged by what I'm seeing. You see, the last time the armies of darkness came marching out, boom, 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 boom. Nobody said nothing. There was no uproar. No, there wasn't no uproar at all. They just came marching. Boom, 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 boom. But now we've gotten to the point to where enough people are awakened and they understand the wickedness that is in front of them, that even Pastor Chris is going ham. Now, if you've seen me put videos up of Hubert Angel and him talking about various different things, Hubert Angel is what you would call a spiritual son of Pastor Chris. Pastor Chris is an OG, triple dipple OG man of God. And I want you to listen to what Pastor Chris got to say, because I got to be careful what I say. Because YouTube don't like it when you be saying certain stuff. People like, DW, why don't you go to Rumble? Because you don't make no money on Rumble. And I'm not bringing my anointing to Rumble unless Rumble going to cut me a check. If you know somebody at Rumble, tell them to do me a deal, cut a deal with me. I come over there. But I'm not really coming over there to build your platform. I'd rather build my own platform like I've done in the past. But I'm not going to build yours up for free while you give me pennies. That don't make no sense. That's why Rumble is not taking off. Now, if you know something I don't know, then I'm more than happy to listen. You can put it in the comments. But let's start with Pastor Chris. Pastor Chris, what you got to say, my man?
You know, I told you about the genetically modified mosquitoes that were being produced. And now recently, Bill Gates and his foundation have said that mosquitoes are the most dangerous and destructive elements or insects in the world. Well, the only reason he said that is because they are producing the most dangerous and the most evil. We've been living with mosquitoes in sub-Saharan Africa for a long time. We don't think so. We don't think so. These mosquitoes have lived with us. And when the Europeans came to Africa, they were killed by mosquitoes that didn't kill the Africans that were there. So malaria was never a problem to those in Africa until the visitors came and told them malaria was their problem. So Bill Gates announces 168 million to develop next generation malaria vaccine. For people that don't have a problem with it. So they say that malaria is the biggest killer in Africa. How they get the numbers? How they get the numbers? The hospitals don't even have the data. How they get the numbers? How did they know? Those are the numbers they give them at the UN. They're not true. They're not true. The nation.
And I want you to understand something. There's a reason why, and it's going to sound harsh, but there's a reason why the people in Africa know the truth about things. It's because in the church, did you notice there was a whole screen in the church? Let me go back to it. Did you notice that he had a whole TV news studio screen in the church? Right there. Well, he showed what was going on. Let me go back. Come on, Pastor Chris, walk in front of the screen, my man. There you go. Yeah, there he is. Did you notice there's a whole projector screen? Now, you got to understand, over there, they go to church and they be in church for 5 hours. When I go to church, they got a little timer on the wall. And they be counting down an hour and everybody want to be out of there for an hour. They in there for 5 hours. That might be a 2-hour conversation. Then he started preaching. And see, the beauty of this, though, ladies and gentlemen, the beauty is, and I want you to see the beauty of it. The beauty is we've gotten to the point to where the information war, where information, there's no more blockade of information. If you harken back to early 2020, late 2019, December-ish, there was no information. There was people who was getting information, but when you tried to use the information, it was blocked. And then you would tell people, and they'd be like, you don't know what you're talking about, James. That's not true. You don't know. You have no clue what you're saying, James. But see, now it's everywhere. So when the next phase pops up, which is this, and here's the next phase, they captured it on Fox News. Now, before I hit play, before I proceed, I shall proceed and continue to rock the mic. I shall proceed and continue to rock the mic. You don't know about them roots. You don't know about that roots next movement. Listen, before I proceed and continue to rock the mic on you, remember, recall, bring it back up into your memory, dial into your brain. What was the largest group of people, males, that was crossing the border? That was the most disturbing group of males that was crossing the border during the wide open border crisis. Chinese military age men. And then, hold on. What was just going on over the past 60 days where the FBI was busting them, sneaking things into the nation? What were they sneaking in? Genetically modified seeds and diseases to put into the soil. Not the soil, the soil. And I just want you to understand. Just want you to think. Thinking about it. Why? I want you to think and understand that them same people is here. And what you see them popping off over there right now, they got it over here. They got a whole army of people to release it right here. Now, we know who it came from. We know it came from the gates of hell. The pot-belly goblin that dances around and be like, yeah, we're injecting children. I wear my little pink sweater. I'm Bill Gates. I'm so loving and friendly. And I want to capture the cow farts. I'm Bill Gates. Yay. I have billions. And when I die, I'm going to give all my billions away. So don't worry about the fact that I divorced my man wife. No, he got mad because I was with Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah. Could you believe it? We were both hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. And then he gets mad. Melinda gets mad because it came out about me and Jeffrey. But Melinda was on the plane too. Let me stop. Acting retarded.
Breaking tonight, a viral outbreak in China prompts the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, to issue a travel warning. More than 7,000 cases of this disease have been reported so far. State Department correspondent Jillian Turner has details tonight, live from the State Department. Good evening, Jillian.
Good evening.
Boy, Brett Baird looked like he done got on some steroids. Hold on, let me go back. Look at him. Look how them traps. He's like, breaking. Brett Baird didn't look that big, man. Brett Baird is on them roids. Yeah, look at him. He looking like he on them roids right now. Brett Baird, you done bulked up out here in these streets, Brett? Yeah. You done bulked up? You're rank devil, you. You're rank devil. Yeah, that rank devil done bulked up. Breaking news. I'm Brett Baird. Look at them traps going all the way up to the back of his head. He took some of them Hulk, the incredible Hulk drugs. Let me stop playing. Let's get back to it.
This disease have been reported so far. State Department correspondent Jillian Turner has details tonight, live from the State Department. Good evening, Jillian.
Good evening, Brett. The CDC, as you mentioned, is warning Americans traveling to China about chikungunya. It is a virus that spreads to humans through infected mosquito bites. It can cause severe illness with symptoms that mimic pretty closely dengue fever and Zika virus, mostly found in Africa. Here's what the CDC says about it. They say most people infected get better within a week. However, some can have severe joint pain for months to years. Other symptoms include severe fever and fatigue. The outbreak now is in the Chinese province Guangdong. It's near Hong Kong, with more than 7,000 cases reported so far, prompting some pretty dramatic measures to contain the spread, like mandatory insect repellent blasts for people entering the area, mandatory property checks for stagnant water, which attracts mosquitoes, and when found is now punishable by fines or even arrest.
If you happen to get this, they're quarantining you in hospitals with mosquito netting and not letting you out for a week. These are the kind of draconian responses we saw with COVID. We're seeing it again.
The CDC says Americans traveling to 8 other countries are also at elevated risk of exposure to the virus, even if there is no current outbreak there. People at risk for more severe cases of chikungunya include newborns, seniors 65 years and up, as well as people with diabetes or heart disease. Now, the good news is that unlike COVID, deaths from this disease are exceedingly rare. You can also protect yourself by getting vaccinated against it or by preventing mosquito bites in the first place through all the usual mechanisms, insect repellent, netting, wearing long sleeves, and staying in air conditioning. Brett?
Jillian Turner, live at the State Department. Jillian, thank you.
Come on, bro. Come on, son. Come on, son. So you trying to tell me I go outside, get bit by a mosquito, I get chikungunya. Chikungunya. Let's look and see what the hell chikungunya means. Because that's a weird, strange name, right? Chikungunya. That sounds like somebody from a Mortal Kombat. No. Chikungunya. Hold on. Man, you can't make this kind of stuff up. You can't make this kind of stuff up, though. I'm going to end the video right now because you can't make this kind of stuff up. The name chikungunya comes from the Man-Makode language, spoken in southeastern Tanzania and northern Mozambique, is derived from the word kongulai, which means to become controlled or to bend up. This refers to several joint pains, stoop posture, often experienced by those infected with the chikungunya virus, which is transmitted by mosquitoes. The name vividly describes debilitating circumstances and symptoms of the disease. To become controlled. So they release a virus named that means to become controlled. And it's coming via mosquitoes. Not malaria, chikungunya. Ain't that some crap? Ain't that about a dirty sandy beach? Yeah, B-E-A-C-H, for those of you who are always seeking to find a curse word coming out of my mouth. When they don't, you hear curse words. B-E-A-C-H, a dirty sandy beach. And don't say that beaches can't be sandy and dirty, because they can be. If you don't believe me, go on over to California to one of the most beautiful beaches and see how they have turned the place in Los Angeles into a dirty, sandy beach. Yes. Now we got to go into the danger zone. My way to the danger zone. Don't. I'll be right back. You know, this is awesome. You know, it's awesome. I'm just going to use all mainstream news media sources to cover this. As we go towards the pot-belly goblin, who sits in his chair and leans like this, like a pregnant emoji. Yeah, meat. Humans are going to have to get used to not eating meat, because the meat is going to make you, the cows give off methane. And, the methane is bad for the environment. And, well, Bill, haven't there been cows since the beginning of time? Yes, but these cows, we have so many people, so many cows. And so because of the number of people and the number of cows and the methane, it's causing the climate to change. And I can honestly tell you, I don't understand why Bill Gates is allowed to march around like a pot-belly goblin. I don't get it. I'm telling you, I don't get it. That's the one thing. I've never seen Donald Trump address him and chin check him. I've never seen him, I don't get it. Oh, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it why he's allowed to march around, but here we go. Here we go.
It's not always clear exactly what it is, though. He wants us to eat fake meat, but he's buying up farmland. He says he stands for human rights, but he has a lot of unsavory friends. And I'm not talking about Jeffrey Epstein. I'm talking about Xi Jinping, the leader of the Chinese Communist Party. Gates visited his old pal, President Xi, to strengthen business ties between the U.S. and China. Listen.
Very honored to have this chance to meet. And we've always had great conversations, and we'll have a lot of important topics to discuss today.
And when you visit an old friend, you should always bring a gift. So instead of bringing a bottle of scotch, Gates opened up his wallet and cut a check for $50 million. Bill wants us to think the money is going to be put to good use. He's giving China money to fund studies into infectious diseases like malaria. So let me get this straight. China monkeyed around with viruses and gave us COVID, killed 1 million of us, and now Gates wants to give him $50 million to monkey around with new viruses? Wait a second. The WHO declared China malaria free in 2021. So what's that for? Well, Gates wants China to use that money to fix Africa's malaria problem. Why? Well, it's no secret the U.S. and China are jockeying for position in Africa. We both need the cobalt, the lithium to make chips and batteries. So China takes Bill's money and they make Africans healthier so they can work in China's mines. They don't want the child miners to get malaria so they can keep digging. So why does Gates launder the $50 million through China? Why doesn't he just give China or Africa the money directly? Why not do the research here? Also, hydroxychloroquine works for malaria. Hydroxy's been on the market for 60 years. So why is Bill Gates subcontracting $50 million in virus research through China and Africa? Well, he's making China look good in Africa, keeping mining children healthy enough to keep spitting out minerals for Chinese chips, which just so happen to be in Microsoft's computers.
I'll tell you why Bill can't go do nothing in Africa, because the African people know what Bill did to them. Africans are well aware of Bill Gates. In fact, when they see Bill Gates people coming, it's not that they run from Bill Gates people. It's that they go and get weapons. If you go, the last thing you can do is go to Africa and say you work for the Gates Foundation. Let me tell you something. Boy, you talking about getting your head busting, your wig split wide open. Don't go over. Don't play them games. Don't play the games. Trust me, don't play games. Hold on. I think we need to go a little bit deeper. Now, here he is in Britain in his escorted vehicle trying to get out. And I want you to understand that people are aware of what he's done. And I'll tell you, if I was to share with you the one person that we pray against the most, and we ask the Lord to judge the most, is this person right here. The amount of blood on his hands, the amount of children and women and that he's maimed, the way he's taking advantage of the poor and needy while saying he's taking care of the poor and needy. If you are a praying person, you want to pray against a target, this is your target. Yeah, this is your target. Well, DW, you can't pray against people. Okay, don't go read what my forefather King David did and understand that you can pray against wicked people like this. He's a wicked, dirty, sandy beach, B-E-A-C-H. Yeah. In days of old, prior to the system being like it was, I don't believe that this dirty, sandy beach would be here anymore. Somebody would have lost their mind and went and got him. But there's a system that's put in place to protect these dirty, sandy beaches. There's barricades put up around them. And sometimes you got to give it to the Lord. But this is how he's treated when he goes out in public.
You murdering Bill Gates! You son of a bitch! You have blood on your hands! You have blood on your hands! You murdering son of a bitch!
Nonsense, a lot of y'all!
There were hundreds of thousands of people on YouTube. Murder! We know who you are, you son of a bitch! Murder! Arrest Bill Gates! 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 We know who you are, you son!
And the worst thing about this man is it's all about death and money. It's really not even about money for him because he has money. He's a full-on cult member that wants to see humanity destroyed. And what pisses me off is platforms will defend him and protect him. They will demonetize you when he gonna kill the people that run the damn platforms. So, for example, somebody's gonna watch this video. They're gonna go through it with a fine-tooth comb. It'll sit there for like an hour, which is why I gotta stop. And then they'll go through word by word and like, let's see what he said about Bill. Did he say anything that's not against our community policies? But he gonna kill your ass too. He gonna kill your ass. Just like he gonna kill me. Just like he gonna kill your mom, your pa, your auntie, and your uncle. And you sitting there, yeah, let me see if I can find something on him because he's talking about Bill Gates. You're gonna die. And the worst part about it is you are enabling him to murder all the rest of the people. And that's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. And I ain't gonna say no more. Yeah, it's accomplice. You be an accomplice to murder. Y'all know the legal terminology for it. Yeah. You are an accomplice because you're protecting a pot-bellied goblin who was married to a man. I don't have no problem with him being married to a man, but I got a problem with him killing everybody. You want to marry a man? Marry that man. Yeah, I got a problem with it. Ain't none of my damn business. But it's my business when you try and kill me and everybody else. When you get a mosquito bite and it look like a damn vaccine shot, yeah, that's a problem. And then he got the perfect solution for the new problem. Yeah, buy this and it'll take care of it for you. I'm Bill Gates. Buy it, governments, buy it.
Bill Gates has been caught releasing billions of diseased mosquitoes in the US. And it just so happens that he has a vaccine coming out soon, which he says will solve the problem of the diseased mosquitoes. The evidence against Gates is damning, and the Gates-funded mainstream media is doing everything it can to suppress and bury this story. Months after a Bill Gates tech startup called Oxitec released billions of genetically modified mosquitoes into the wild, mosquitoes across the US are testing positive to extremely rare and deadly viruses. some of which were eradicated decades ago, and others which have never before been reported in the United States.
Inside boxes like these on the Florida Keys, a possible key to what scientists hope will slow an invasive and dangerous mosquito species. They're called Aedes aegypti and are known to carry diseases like Zika, dengue, and yellow fever, the females spreading infection with their bites.
In the Keys, they make up just about 4% of the mosquito population, but are responsible for virtually all of the mosquito-borne disease transmission to humans.
The potential solution starts at Oxitec's lab, where tiny eggs are injected with a modified DNA strain, ultimately producing mosquitoes that have what's called a self-limiting gene. Only the male offspring can survive past an early stage. The boys, unlike their female counterparts, do not bite.
They run out of females to mate with, and that's how you bring the population down.
This week,
you know, in the Bible, when they started modifying humanity, this stuff ended bad. Yeah. It ended bad. It ended up with giants, and then giants started eating people. We ended up with mermaids. We ended up with minotaurs. We ended up with Bigfoots. We ended up with men that were with dog heads. We ended up with Poseidon. We ended up with all kind of crap because man wanted to play God. If there was one thing I could say to build up to Donald Trump, and I ever met him, I'd say, Mr. President, sir, you're going to need to arrest Bill Gates. You're going to need to arrest Bill Gates, sir. If you don't deal with Bill Gates, Mr. President, then I don't care how you fix the economy. I don't care what you do. All it takes is for him to release one of his wet dream eugenics fantasies on this nation, and he's going to undo everything that you've done. You need to arrest Bill Gates. That's what you need to do.